welcome back to e-lecture series of Pharma Ignite. I am Aarti Patel from Department of Pharmacognosy, LG Institute of Pharmacy. This is my third lecture in semester 5. We are learning glycosides. In first lecture we have learned about the anthraquinone glycosides, their detailed chemistry. In the second lecture we have learned about the drug containing anthraquinone glycoside, which is Senna. In this lecture, in the third lecture, I am going to discuss about the ALO, which is anthraquinone glycoside containing drug. So let us start. ALO is also known as ALO, Musabbar, Kumari, Grita Kumari and Kumar Pathu in Gujarati. Biological source, if we see, ALO have three varieties. Among them, Curacao aloe, that is obtained from Aloe barbadensis, Aloe vera, Aloe vulgaris, Aloe officinalis. These are the species of aloe which are commonly known as Curacao aloes, which are available and indigenous to West Indies, North Africa, South America and Curacao region. Second variety of aloe, which is also official, which is known as Socotrine or Zanzibar aloe, the aloe which is occurring in these regions, Socotrine and Zanzibar. The aloe perry is the plant which is occurring in Socotra. The third variety of aloe is Cape aloe, which is Aloe ferox, and its hybrids with Aloe africana and Aloe spicata, which is occurring in South Africa and Kenya. Aloe are solid residues obtained by evaporating the juice which drains from the transversely cut leaves of various aloe species. The juice is usually concentrated by boiling it, and upon cooling it gets solidifies. So aloes are actually the solid residues which are obtained from the parenchymatous layer of the leaves. We will see the detail how they are collected and how they are prepared in later on in this lecture. The name aloe derived from Arabic word alaq, which means shiny bitter substance. Vera means true. Ferox means wild. Spicata refers to the flowers in spikes, the inflorescences of aloe. Traditionally, aloe was used by Congo Africans. They were rubbing the gel all over their bodies to reduce sweating, as well as to mask the body odor to get protected from the wild animals. They were also using the aloe vera for breaking the nail biting habit. Even nowadays also many people are using this for this purpose, and aloe was also used along with the burnt alum for the healing of sore eyes. So these are traditional uses of aloe. Let us see the plant. The plant aloe is a xerophytic plant. This is the herbarium. We can see here the aloe. So it is having large, thick, fleshy, succulent leaves. You can see here, everyone, you must have seen aloe and use aloe because it is a tropical plant, and in our region it is occurring very wildly. The leaves are slightly concave from upper side and they are rounded at the lower surface. The leaves are sessile. Sessile means here you can see there is no petiole. There is no separate attachment in between the leaf and the stem. So the leaves are directly attached to the stem. Those kind of leaves are called as sessile leaves. So the leaves of aloe are sessile with a strong spine at the apex. Apex is the end portion of the leaf. Here you can see it's a very sharp ending, so that is and there is a strong spine at the apex of the aloe leaf, and there are n number of small spines at the margin of the leaf of aloe, and the spikes of flowers, the inflorescences of aloe, which are either of yellow or red color flowers. So this is about the whole plant of the aloe. We are mainly focused on the leaves of aloe, as our active phytoconstituent we are getting from the leaf. Let us see the cultivation of aloe. Aloe is cultivated by vegetative propagation using the root suckers. These are the root suckers. The young root suckers are planted in rows about 50 centimeter apart. We can see here the commercial cultivation of aloe. They are cultivated just after rainy season, and aloe prefers light and medium soils, either sandy or loamy. It requires well drained soil and can grow in nutritionally poor soil too. So aloe prefers, or we can say aloe grows well in acidic, neutral and alkaline soil. So in general we can say aloe can occur at any type of soil. So it doesn't have any specific requirements. The collection of aloe after 1 year, after 1.5 years, in the second year, the leaves are cut from the end near the bases, and the plant is yielding the leaves up to 12 years. So you can collect the leaves every 6 months till 12 years. After 12 years, the plant is completely harvested. So till 12 years, the leaves are collected in interval. After collection, the leaves are arranged on a slope so that the juice flows from one end of the wooden dowse into a collecting vessel. So you can see here in the figure, in the picture, the leaves are arranged one over the another so that the juice automatically comes out and it gets collected into the vessel. After collection, the collected juice is boiled in a large copper pans or iron pans. During boiling, the latex gets evaporated and the juice is thickened. The thick juice is then poured into metal containers or wooden blocks, and it is allowed to cool. Then after cooling, the aloe hardens and then it is divided into equal portions and then commercially sold. Here, this is the whole process of collection, harvesting and processing of aloe. This is an old picture. You can also go through the link given below, which is of the International Aloe Science Council. Here in this link you will see the detailed processing of the aloe for the collection of aloe juice as well as aloe gel. Then coming towards the constituents of aloe. Aloe mainly contains anthraquinone glycosides known as aloein. Aloein is the principal active composition of aloe, which contains up to 30% of total phytoconstituents. Aloein is the mixture of 3 isomer glucosides, barbaloin, beta-barbaloin and isobarbaloin. Barbaloin is a chief constituent among all these 3 anthraquinone glycosides of aloein. It is chemically aloeimodine, anthron. It is C10 glucoside and which is water soluble. Whereas beta-barbaloin is amorphous. It is formed by heating the barbaloin at 160 degrees centigrade and it is present specially in Cape aloes. Isobarbaloin is crystalline form of aloein and it is a C glycoside. All the 3 derivatives are C glycosides. In senna, we have seen that the sennosides were O glycosides, where the linkage between sugar and non-sugar portion was O. Here in aloe, the linkage between sugar and non-sugar portion is C. So here the C glycosides are present. These are the structures of different derivatives of aloe: aloeimodine, aloine, aloosine is a resin, and imodine. Other anthracene derivatives present in aloe leaf or aloe juice are aloeimodine, resins, aloeinoside A, aloeinoside B. Aloeinoside B is the only O-glycoside of barbaloin which is present in the leaf in very minute quantity. Then coming towards the identification chemical test of aloe, it is divided in two portions, like general test for aloe and specific test for aloe. General test for aloe involves modified Bontrager test, as we have discussed in the earlier lecture during anthraquinone glycosides explanation, that modified Bontrager test is used for the for the breaking of C glycosidic linkage, right? So in aloe, as C glycosides are present, we will follow the modified Bontrager's test. So they are identified by this test. Second general test is bromine test, and third general test is borax test. Then coming towards the specific test for aloe, specific tests are those tests for each test reagent. Different types of aloe will give different color reaction. Say nitrous acid test. So barbaloin aloe, aloe barbadensis, Cape aloe, Curacao aloe, and aloe forex, they will give different color reaction with nitrous acid, that we will see in detail in other lecture. Second test specific is nitric acid. Here also with nitric acid, all the three varieties of aloe will give different color. Then cupraloin test, which is also known as Clun's isobarbaloin test, which indicates the presence of isobarbaloin. So these are the specific tests for aloe which are performed for identification. Then coming towards the uses of aloe, it is a stronger purgative among all anthraquinone glycosides containing herbs. The activity of aloe increased when they are administered with small quantities of alkaline salts. Aloe are generally given or prescribed with carminatives, as like senna, as they are irritating purgatives. To reduce the gripping effect, they are given with the carminatives. Aloe is also an ingredient in Friar's balsam, which is also known as compound tincture of benzoin. So aloe is one of the ingredient among that. Then coming towards the aloe gel. Aloe gel is slightly viscous and clear liquid present in inner parenchyma of the leaf of aloe. It should not be contaminated by aloe juice while collection. We can see here the outermost layer is the cuticle. The green colored layer is the rind, or we can say the outermost layer, which is the cuticle of the aloe leaf. Then comes the secondary layer that contains pulp and the latex of anthraquinones, and the innermost parenchymatous cells are containing aloe gel. Here in the microscopical figure we can clearly see that this is the outermost layer, that is cuticle, which is green. Then comes secondary layer which contains aloin. The septs are containing aloin, which is the mixture of barbaloin, beta barbaloin and isobarbaloin. Here the middle portion, the inner parenchymatous cells, we can see here they are consisting the clear aloe vera gel. So one thing you have to remember, always remember, that The aloe gel is present in the inner parenchymatous cells of aloe leaf, and the anthraquinone glycosides are present in the outer parenchyma. The uses of aloe gel: it is therapeutically used in topical preparations. It is also used in cosmetic products. Oral therapeutic value of aloe gel is almost nil. The gel possesses good moisturizing properties. It is official in oil in water based formulations by US FDA. It gives conditioning effect in shampoos, as it is used as conditioner in shampoos. It protects from sunburns. Aloe gel is anti-wrinkle and it is having humectant properties. Other preparations of aloe available in commerce are aloeine, which we know, the mixture of 3 isomers of anthraquinone glycosides. Second is aloe powder, the extract which the aloe juice as it is dried and sold commercially as the aloe powder. And third is compound benzoin tincture. Compound benzoin tincture is a compound tincture. Aloe is one of the ingredient in that. Let us see adulterants and substituents of this drug. One is Natal aloes, which are obtained from aloe candelabrum, mocha aloe, and Indian aloe, which is aloe vera. So these are the 3 adulterants and substituents of the herb. These are the references. You can go for further details of the topic. Hope you have enjoyed and you have understood the outline of aloe. The detail of aloe we will learn in online classes. Till that, subscribe our YouTube channel Pharma Ignite. Thank you.